If you want to give me name, company, give me the whole scoop, how you started, from when it was just you and your brain, and to today. If you could give us the overview.
Sure. So name Shenan.
Shenan.
Title, founder and managing director of Morpheus Media. Title has recently changed. Now I'm Chief Media Officer of Morpheus Media, a creative group company.
Still sounds good.
Still sounds good. Still sounds good. To be fair, even though I was the founder and owner of the company, it's the first time I've ever had chief in my title, so that was kind of exciting. I got to call my mom and say, hey, I'm actually a C-level exec. She's like, have you always been? Well, yeah, I guess. Just never really actually put that title out there, so it's kind of fun. How it started is interesting. So a little over 12 years ago, myself, Alex Belinda, and Jamie Driver were all working in another online advertising agency. And things were great. 45 people, .com boom, everybody wants digital media, fantastic. I was working on Alta Vista, they were spending $1 million a week in online advertising. It was a crazy heyday of the internet, parties every night, trips to the Olympics in Australia, it was nuts. Good times, and then the bubble burst. And everything kind of came collapsing down around the industry, not a surprise. And they started laying people off, one by one, little by little, here and there. As they started laying people off, we sat around going, what are you going to do? And they got down to about the original 10 plus a few of us that were left over. We said, so what happens now? And they said, we're going to find another agency to take the clients on. So there's a difference between inspiration and desperation. We knew we were about to be out of a job.
Right. Hence the perspiration.
Hence the perspiration, exactly. Well, that and the New York City.
Right, yeah.
We looked around at each other and we said, all right, let's take a really hard look at what's happening here. Alex and I are married. We were married before we ever started working together, which I have to sometimes remind my employees of when I tell them not to have relationships with people in the office because that can be dangerous. I promise we were married before we started working together. I swear. We said, okay, we're married, but we have no children. We're young. Our parents still like us. Worst case scenario, we could go back home if we had to. They might feed us. Be a good thing. Jamie had the same situation happening. He wasn't married, but he didn't have kids or any other financial responsibilities. But let's do it.
Right.
Why not?
What do you guys think?
And I think we thought that this was going to be a, year, two, at most. We'd have a few clients. We'd manage them the way we wanted to manage them. We'd be able to touch all the pieces of the business, be our own responsibility for a change. We could do it the way we wanted to do it. Not that Mass Transit was doing a bad job of it, they were actually doing a fantastic job of it, but there's always things that you would like to do differently if you were the owner of the company.
Right.
And we thought this was our chance to do that. And we did. And for the first year, we worked out of our houses, we lived off our credit cards. Got a lot of American Express points that year, so that was good. Definitely had too many things that had 20% interest rates on them, for sure. And we were lucky. They handed us a couple of clients. They handed us two, the New York Times and Hertz Car Rental.
Okay, clients.
Not bad. The New York Times is still a client today. They're actually our largest client today.
Wow.
Fantastic client, 10 years later. It's amazing. So we incorporated in March of 2001. Celebrated our 10-year anniversary this year. And kind of turned around in March, the three of us, to each other and went, how did we get here? Because you don't realize, you get so drawn in to building the business. I think sometimes you forget that you actually built a business. And it's not until people like you show up and ask me, so
what have you been doing?
how'd this go? I think entrepreneurs have a tendency to start doing something because they're really good at it. And that makes sense. I'm really good at digital marketing, so I'm going to start doing digital marketing. I've never been trained as a manager. I've never been trained as a leader. I have no degree in accounting or finance. I couldn't tell you how to actually legally set up an LLC. I was lucky that I had good people I could turn to make that happen. I was smart enough to know that I wasn't the smartest person in the room. Nor do I ever want to be the smartest person in the room.
So part of your success was knowing your strengths, sticking to those, and finding other people to fill in the gaps.
And knowing your weaknesses.
Know your weaknesses.
And embrace them.
That's a common pitfall of entrepreneurs, is they try to do everything and do everything to everybody.
And to think that their way is the best way. I've been doing it this way. This is the way I know how to build a media plan. Because I know how to build a media plan that way doesn't mean that there isn't a better way out there. So you have to be open to hearing different ideas and directions, but you also have to learn to be decisive, and that's, I think, also a really hard part.
So you have every right to have a colossal colossal ego, but you've earned it. But,
wow. I'm going to tell my husband that.
Yeah. But it seems like you've put it in your back pocket, you manage it. I mean, you've done some great things, but it hasn't gone to your head.
Thank you. I hope so.
Yeah.
I certainly hope so. I think I might disagree with you. I don't think I have the right to have a colossal ego. I think we've done a really good job at what we do. I always see where there's ways we could do it better.
Yeah.
I think I've succeeded in many areas. I think I've failed in certain areas. And I've learned a whole lot more from the failures than I have from the successes.
Yeah.
And I expect to continue to fail.
Right.
I expect to continue to succeed.
Right.
But I expect to continue to fail. And I'm actually almost excited about it.
Right.
Because every time something goes wrong, I learn how to do something more.
Yeah, good idea. Now the name, where did you, Morpheus media?
Morpheus media. So when we first started, the word media was really important to us because we wanted to be very clear that we were a media agency and not a creative agency.
Right.
There are differences. So we wanted to be really clear that we were media. I think in hindsight, well, not in hindsight, but 10 years later, right? We look at it and go, media wasn't, if we had known the evolution that we were going to be going through, that media wasn't always the most important thing. Because now we're social, we're SEO, we're affiliate marketing. Yes, some of that is media, some of it is not media, some of it is marketing.
Right.
So it could have been a little different, but we were stuck in the word media.
Yeah.
We went through, I wish I could find that sheet of paper because I'd love to put it in the archives. We went through all of the possible names. Blue Rhino was one of the ones that rose to the top for a while. We went through everything. And I always laugh when we have our holiday parties. Like, you could have all been working at Blue Rhino.
Right. There are some companies that did take that direction.
Yeah, a lot of really creative names out there.
Yeah.
Morpheus came, we liked the alliteration, and Jamie, who's a history buff, his degree's in history from UVA, he mentioned the name Morpheus, and we were like, yeah, alliteration. I remember Morpheus is a Greek god. What did he do again? And we Googled him because that's what we do. Duh. I don't think there was a Wikipedia page on him yet, but there was at least enough information 10 years ago for us to understand that he was the Greek god of dreams. Right. And we kind of left it at that, right? We walked away from the idea, okay, he's the Greek god of dreams, this is a pipe dream, and isn't that kind of fits, and we like the alliteration, let's go with it. About 2 or 3 years into the company, I went, who was Morpheus again? And I went back and I spent some time really researching him. Morpheus, and it makes sense when you think about the words morphing and morphine. Morpheus is that character in your dreams that in one moment you're talking to one person and he transforms into another person. Right. Morpheus is the god that makes that happen. Right. What a perfect name for us. Yeah. We are constantly morphing what we do.
Metamorphosis, right?
Exactly. Yeah. We have to constantly morph what we do to this ever-changing world of digital media. Right. And whereas yesterday I was talking about mobile and the future of mobile, tomorrow I'm going to be talking about gaming and the importance of social gaming and then social shopping in gaming and how that's going to change the face of retail. Right. This is constantly changing, faster than anyone ever imagined it.
Right. Yeah. Now the name, where did you Morpheus media?
Morpheus media. So when we first started, the word media was really important to us because we wanted to be very clear that we were a media agency and not a creative agency. Right. There are differences. So we wanted to be really clear that we were media. I think in hindsight, well, not in hindsight, but 10 years later, right? We look at it and go, media wasn't, if we had known the evolution that we were going to be going through, that media wasn't always the most important thing. Because now we're social, we're SEO, we're affiliate marketing. Yes, some of that is media, some of it is not media, some of it is marketing. Right. So it could have been a little different, but we were stuck in the word media. We went through, I wish I could find that sheet of paper because I'd love to put it in the archives. We went through all of the possible names. Blue Rhino was one of the ones that rose to the top for a while. We went through everything. And I always laugh when we have our holiday parties. Like, you could have all been working at Blue Rhino.
There are some companies that did take that direction.
A lot of really creative names out there. Morpheus came, we liked the alliteration, and Jamie, who's a history buff, his degree's in history from UVA, he mentioned the name Morpheus, and we were like, yeah, alliteration. I remember Morpheus is a Greek god. What did he do again? And we Googled him because that's what we do. Duh. I don't think there was a Wikipedia page on him yet, but there was at least enough information 10 years ago for us to understand that he was the Greek god of dreams. Right. And we kind of left it at that, right? We walked away from the idea, okay, he's the Greek god of dreams, this is a pipe dream, and isn't that kind of fits, and we like the alliteration, let's go with it. About 2 or 3 years into the company, I went, who was who's Morpheus again?
Right.
And I went back and I spent some time really researching him. Morpheus, and it makes sense when you think about the words morphing and morphine. Morpheus is that character in your dreams that in one moment you're talking to one person and he transforms into another person.
Right.
Morpheus is the god that makes that happen.
Right.
What a perfect name for us.
Yeah.
We are constantly morphing what we do.
Metamorphosis, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We have to constantly morph what we do to this ever-changing world of digital media.
Right.
And whereas yesterday I was talking about mobile and the future of mobile, tomorrow I'm going to be talking about gaming and the importance of social gaming and then social shopping in gaming and how that's going to change the face of retail.
Right.
This is constantly changing,
Yeah.
faster than anyone ever imagined it.
Right. So it's cool. So we've got thousands and millions of high school students possibly considering being an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Which is, there's highs, there's lows, it's
Yes.
good, it's bad. Want to pick your brain a little bit. What are some of the best parts of being an entrepreneur?
You get to learn a lot. Honestly, if you have a curious mind, if you forever want to be a scholar, right? If you forever want to be learning something new, trying something new, being an entrepreneur is a great way to do it because there is always a problem to solve, a fire to put out, an opportunity to learn how to do something you wouldn't normally consider part of your skill set. So, if your entrepreneurship is because you are really good at landscaping and you love landscaping and you're awesome at it, good, you're a great landscaper. Now you could go be an expert landscaper for somebody who owns a landscaping company. Start your own landscaping company, but guess what? Now you're going to learn finance, you're going to learn accounting, you're going to learn how to pay bills, you're going to learn how to have staff and employees and what W-2s are and how to pay payroll taxes. Oh yeah. That's the downside of being an entrepreneur.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
You have to get in touch with your weaknesses as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's a lot of, I think that's the piece I love about it is that I'm constantly learning something new.
Yeah.
But if you're smart about it, you know that you're not the person who is the expert in those areas, and you ask for help, and you get advice, and you build a network of people that you trust who can advise you. My only advice in that area, don't always make that network friends and family.
Right. In your travels of doing business, I mentioned you met other entrepreneurs.
Sure.
What are some common traits and habits that you see in successful entrepreneurs?
They never stop. Right? Yeah, there's a certain level of energy that goes with being an entrepreneur. You don't realize how much time and effort it's going to take, and it is, especially in the early days, all-encompassing. Until you build a staff, until you build a group of people working for you that can help manage and help run things. And even then, they're off working and managing and running things, and there's something else for you to build. And an entrepreneur, I think, always has that spirit of what's next. And there's this tendency to want to, okay, I've got that piece of this business settled, now let's go build this piece of this business. So or let's go build that whole other business, right? It's a bit addictive.
Right. Yeah, sometimes to the entrepreneur's detriment if they
it can be
a little bit too far too fast. Right?
It can be. Yeah. I mean, you definitely have to take calculated risk, and you have to be smart about your decisions. And sometimes being first to market isn't necessarily the most important.
Right. Sometimes being second is better.
Sometimes being best.
Yeah.
No.
What do you do? You said you read and you're taking some classes. Anything else you do to just stay just mentally fit and happy and enjoy your life while balancing your business? What are some things that you do to keep it all together? Or at least it appears so, right?
Yeah, appears so is probably more accurate. I do read. I have a couple of rules. I don't go to bed without all of my email being read. I manage about 800 emails a day coming into my inbox, so that's a lot of time.
You answer mine right away, thank you.
I try. Sometimes it takes until midnight or 1 o'clock, and somebody may have sent me an email at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I just don't get to it until later in the day. But every email gets read, without a doubt. And some of them I can skim because I know it's just me being copied on something for a client, and the team has it, and I don't need to necessarily be involved, but I want to be aware. And some of them are folks like you who I want to get back in touch with and be responsive to. So that's one of my #1 rules. I also try to make sure I get enough sleep. Midnight is my cutoff, sometimes 1 or 2 in the morning, but I'm also very lucky in that I walk my son to school in the morning, so most of the time. So I get up at around 7. So midnight's not bad. I'm getting 7 hours of sleep.
7 hours of sleep.
It's pretty good. I'll get up at 7 and I'll walk him to school at 8:30 The other piece of that is that when I leave here to get on the 707 back to Westchester, I get home at 7:30, 8 o'clock. I do the best I can to shut it down for about an hour and a half so that I can be there, engage, play, have a good time. You know, hear about my kids' days and how they did and what they did. And my son will tell me all about his chess tournaments and who he beat and the moves that he made and the defenses that he used. I'm totally at a loss with most of it. Definitely not the smartest person in that room, sure. And then when they go to bed, I'm back on. I'm back on from...
So I think safe to say the past 10, 15 years has been a great time to be a woman entrepreneur. Maybe 50 years ago, 20 years ago, it was a little bit different. How has that been? And what are some of the great things that's been about it? Has there been any challenges that you like to say, hey, you are a young lady in high school and you want to start a business, here's some things to think about?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting time. I get a little almost uncomfortable with the female entrepreneur thing. Not that I'm not all about, women doing great in business, but I think you do great in business because you do great in business, and I don't think it matters what your gender is. Right?
I agree completely.
I think it's, if you've got the aptitude and the attitude and the fortitude, make it happen.
You know, it's funny you say that because I just had lunch with Jennifer Walser, who owns Boomi, Backup My Info, online backup for business. And she was a former interview I had as well. And she said the same thing. She goes, I don't want to be known as a woman business owner. I want to be known as just a great business owner.
Right.
And it's like that's wonderful. And it seems
I
like
completely agree. I completely agree. I get asked sometimes what it's like having two male business partners, and have you learned anything from them?
Right.
Only about as much as I've taught them.
Right.
Maybe
you learn more of what not to do.
Yeah. To be fair, it's really funny. Like and I'll edit what I say here a little bit, but I've often said that I haven't learned anything from them because of their gender.
Right.
That's had very little to do with it, and a lot more to do with the fact that they're just smart people. They're smart. They're capable. They bring different skill sets to the table than I do. I will say this. I think there is something to be said as a female entrepreneur. There's two things. One, you do get a lot of recognition in this market, right? When women like Mary Wells was starting Wells Rich Green many, many years ago, and I'll let everybody Google Wells Rich Green and Mary Wells. She's an idol of mine by far. When Mary was starting Wells Rich Green, it was a different world, right? There were women who were executives in companies, but not to the same level. Media and marketing and advertising certainly was an area where it was not uncommon in her era, but being a woman business owner was still something that was fairly new and uncharted territory. And she did an amazing job of it, and I very much look up to what she accomplished. That said, there's a lot of us out there now, right? Maybe not as many male entrepreneurs as there are female entrepreneurs. Is it our gender that allows us to make, calmer decisions, maybe less hastily jump into things? I don't know. Statistically, there's probably some, statistic that says that female leaders are less likely to hit the red button than male leaders are. I think if you're a great leader, you're a great leader. And it really doesn't matter either way.
Well, one thing I didn't hear you say, which is good, because if I asked this question 20 years ago, you might have said you get treated differently from the machizo males. So
that's an interesting point. I don't get treated differently, but I think it's because I don't allow it. And I try to really express this to the women who work for me. Don't ever get uncomfortable because you're the only woman sitting in a room. You have every right to be in that room. And your brain deserves to be in that room. So be there because your brain's in the room. And your gender shouldn't make any difference as to why you're there. And I have sat in rooms with truly the old guard of industry, specifically the spirits industry, which is an interesting old guard industry, right? Boys Club, European Boys Club on top of that, and I am the only woman in the room, with men who on top of that are 20 years my senior. So I'm the woman in the room, but I'm also the kid in the room. They're both a challenge in that point, right? But only if you let them be. I knew why I was there. I knew I had something important to say you clam up because I'm going to say the wrong thing, or if I say this, I might look stupid or flighty.
Yeah.
If you're the smartest person about your topic in that room, own your topic.
I see you like books, Mikhail Kiyosaki. What are some books that you would recommend some young people thinking about starting a business, or maybe they just started? Any books or speakers that you would recommend?
Well, Guy is definitely one of them. Guy Kawasaki. I would recommend pretty much everything he's written. Mm-hmm. And this last one, Enchantment, is a lot about being the entrepreneur, smiling with your eyes, shaking a hand, getting into a room and being comfortable in that room, building a presentation that's catchy, it's going to get attention, it's going to get you noticed, participating in social media, participating in digital media as a whole, so that you can get you as the brand out there and recognized and engaged, or your brand out there engaged and recognized and gain some traction. And I think he does a really good job of, in very tactile steps, laying it out for you, which is great. Other books, I do read a lot, but a lot of them are I read things like Freakonomics. I loved Freakonomics. I read a lot of the Malcolm